In what circumstances was Thuy Paris founded? Give details. Thuy Paris, often known as Paris by Night, PBN, was founded under unique and challenging circumstances shaped by the cultural and political events of the time. Historical context. Vietnam War aftermath. 1975, after the fall of Saigon in 1975 and the unification of Vietnam under a communist government, many Vietnamese fled the country, seeking refuge in the United States, France, and other Western nations. Among these refugees were artists, musicians, and entertainers whose careers were disrupted by the war and the subsequent changes in Vietnam. Diaspora and cultural preservation. As Vietnamese communities settled in the West, particularly in the U.S. and France, there was a strong desire among the diaspora to preserve their culture, music, and entertainment traditions. Thuy Paris emerged as a platform that catered to this need, serving as both a source of nostalgia and a way to maintain cultural identity in exile. Founding of Thuy Paris. Establishment. Early 1980s, Thuy was originally a family-run business founded in Saigon, Vietnam, by Thuy, a pseudonym from Nguyen Ngoc Thuy, but the family relocated to Paris after the fall of Saigon. In Paris, the label began producing Vietnamese music programs, starting with audio cassettes and eventually expanding to video productions. Name and development. The Paris in Thuy Paris reflects the location where the company re-established itself. The company's music shows, notably Paris by Night, featured Vietnamese music performances, comedic sketches, and dance routines, combining both traditional and contemporary elements. These shows became a bridge for Vietnamese living abroad to reconnect with their homeland and culture. Growth in the U.S. By the late 1980s, Paris by Night started gaining significant popularity in the United States, particularly among Vietnamese American communities. It became a household name for entertainment in the Vietnamese diaspora. The shows were not just about music, but also about celebrating Vietnamese traditions, addressing issues facing the diaspora, and reconnecting with the culture left behind. Key characteristics. Preservation of Vietnamese culture. The Paris by Night series, in particular, focused on the preservation of pre-1975 Vietnamese music, which was banned in communist Vietnam. It also highlighted themes of love, loss, exile, and hope, resonating with the experiences of Vietnamese refugees. Adapting to new media. Over the decades, Thuy Paris adapted to changing media formats, from cassette tapes and VHS to DVDs and later digital platforms like YouTube and social media, allowing it to reach new generations of Vietnamese both in the diaspora and in Vietnam. Symbol of Vietnamese resistance to censorship. In Vietnam, the communist government continued to ban Paris by Night due to its connection to the pre-communist regime and its promotion of music and ideologies that were seen as contrary to state policy. Despite this, the shows found their way into the country via underground channels, making Thuy Paris a symbol of cultural resistance. Legacy. Thuy Paris, through its Paris by Night series, played an essential role in shaping the cultural landscape of the Vietnamese diaspora. It provided entertainment, but also a space for collective memory, identity, and solidarity among the dispersed Vietnamese population. Its foundation and rise are deeply tied to the political upheavals in Vietnam, the experiences of exile, and the efforts of the Vietnamese community abroad to maintain their cultural identity in the face of tremendous loss.